Hello everybody and welcome to Paper Art. We're going to be making monsters today. But before we start, anytime we do paper art, you can use pretty much any kind of paper. I went around my house and I've over a few days collected different kinds of paper that I thought were interesting. So one thing I had was some scraps of some colored paper that I was making a pattern out of to sew, and that has a nice color to it. Sticky notes, you can use some sticky notes, surprise, surprise. I just had this little notepad of lined paper that was yellow with blue lines. I thought that was kind of interesting and might make a cool monster. I have some tissue paper that had a pattern on it. It's got stripes, so I might like to use that. Another one of my favorite, paper bag, cut out, little pieces left over. I found these doilies in a craft project that I did before, so they were left over. And greeting cards. So if you get birthday cards or if your mom gets a Mother's Day card, you could use a pattern like this, would make a cool looking monster. I'm going to use this card for another project, but if you just like the design on it, or if you want to use the back, that card I'm going to save. This one has a cool pattern on it, so I could make a monster out of it. There's another piece of paper that was left over from a project that I did with a scrapbook page. This was a really pretty card that I received from my cousin, and I thought, I've got to keep that paper, so I'm going to use that for something. And then I had this paper left over from when I made your work packets. And I thought, well, it's got writing all over it. But in the end, I really didn't care because I could just cut right through the writing. And you can see that I did that. I cut right through the writing. And now I think I'm going to use this, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with it to tear it up and make some shapes. I've already done some shapes where I cut between the words and then I just tore out a shape. And you can use tearing today, or you can use scissors. It's kind of up to you. I'll show you that. There's another card I got for Christmas, and I might want to use that. Another thing is I am waiting for this Kleenex box to be empty because look at the great design on that. I'm going to use that box for some kind of project. So keep your eye out for things that you want. Tell your parents, hey, when that's empty, can I have the box? And here's a little gift bag. It's actually got something in it, but I thought that the sides of it look like wood. Oh, I want that paper, but I'll have to wait till that one is done being used. And another thing you can look for is cereal box. So it's printed on one side, but on the other side, it's blank. And this would be a great thing to make your project on. You really can make this project on any kind of paper, but a heavy paper works a little better. So I'm going to actually cut a piece of this cereal box out, and I'm going to save the rest for another project. And I'm going to use the other side, the blank side, for my project today. So you had cereal for breakfast, you ate it all. Maybe if it was in a cereal box, then you can use the cereal box, cut it into pieces. Another thing you can do for this project, you don't have to have cardboard or something heavy. You could just do it on regular paper, or you can even do it in small pieces. So maybe you only have a small piece of paper or cardboard or a folder. You could just make little ones and then put them all over the place. I'm sure that would be fun. And the last paper I want to show you is, this was packing paper. It was packed in a box that I got, and it was all wrinkled up like this. And I just went and ironed it with a really low iron. Your parents would have to do this. But you can see it got a lot flatter, and I could tear out a shape, and I'm going to just tear one out of this to use for my project. Because this monster project is all about your imagination. And so I'm going to choose some of my favorite shapes that I tore out and maybe some new ones. I kind of like this tissue because it's has colors. And I'm going to make this one smaller. But if your picture is bigger, or you can always do more than one, you don't have to just do one of these. You can always do more than one. Now, I got this idea from an organization. They are putting videos up every day called Youth in Arts. And they're putting videos up every day with an art project. And I thought this one was really cool. And you can hardly see that brown paper on my project, but I'm going to just tear the top off this. So you don't even need scissors. You can cut if you want to, but I think I get a little bit more fun shapes tearing. So the first thing you do is with your glue stick, and you should have all gotten one in your supply bag that we sent home quite a while ago. Just glue that on, and we want to go around the edges. We do not want to go all in the one spot, right? Put it down randomly. I didn't get enough glue on the edge. Okay. I'm just going to put these on the paper in any way I feel like. All right, so I'm going to put this one like this. And my tissue paper. Let's see how this glues down. You can use wrapping paper too. It's a little slippery, so you might need to use a different kind of glue. Maybe you have to use some white glue, but this is going to stick down. And I'll wait till that glue dries before I do on that one. Now, you're going to do some drawing, and you can really draw anything that you want. This is going to be a monster drawing. So monsters, they don't have to be scary, but they can be pretty much anything you want them to be. You could use colored pencils, or you could use markers. I have some fine tip markers, but you could use regular markers too. And you could use one color, or they can be different colors. I'm going to make mine different colors today because I just feel like it. And I'm going to use some different kinds of tools so that you can see what they look like. So the idea is to make a monster. But I'm going to look at this and decide, well, what part of this monster is this? Oh my goodness, I think this is going to be the face of my monster. And I am going to draw an eye right here. And I'm going to make it like this. You can really do any kind of drawing that you like. My colored pencil might not be showing up as well as I'd like for this project, so I'm going to do a darker color for you. Let's see if this shows up a little better. So I did a little eyeball like that, and now I'm going to put, I think this is his mouth. So I'm going to put some teeth here. And you notice that I did not draw on the paper for that one. I put it on my project paper, so it's out here. And he is going to have some steam coming out of his nose. Now I want my monster to look hairy and kind of spiky. So I'm going to take another color and I'm going to make him some spiky looking spikes that come off of the back of him. Now if I want to, I can continue to draw things on him. I could draw him a little claw. I can do anything I want to make this monster. I'm going to put this a little bit closer to you so you can see all the things I drew. Did the spikes, did a claw over here. I did some teeth. I did a big eye looking down. So you can really do anything that you are thinking about. This piece over here is that piece I cut out of the paper that had writing on it. And I'm going to use that writing as part of my design, I think. But first I have to decide what monster this is. And I'm going to make this the top of my monster. And this monster is going to have red eyes. And they are going to be swirly eyes. I like swirls and different designs. He's going to have swirly eyes. And I'm going to make this his sort of ear, and I'll make this another one on this side. And let's see. I think he's going to have some kind of a big hand that goes across his body. And I might color this in. This is how I'm going to use this design here. Kind of use those lines. And I don't really care that they're there anyway. Just kind of fun. So you can make this guy look any way you want to. He could be holding something right here. And then finally my little striped guy over here. So I have some striped paper. He's already like that. And I think he's going to look sort of like a jellyfish because I am kind of seeing that. So he might have some tendrils coming down. Maybe he looks a little bit like a jellyfish. I'm going to do one of, but this monster is going to have a whole bunch of eyes. Let's do 5 eyes. It's going to have 5 eyes. And it's going to have a big wiggly mouth. And then I might just go ahead and give it some shape on the outside. That's kind of fun. So you can really make any kind of monsters that you like. Here are my 3 monsters, but you can really just use lines and decide where the eyes are going to be, where its mouth, what kind of wings or claws, or even just hands on their body, or little spiky things coming out of their body, or tendrils going down. They can look any way you want to. Just have fun with it. And if you don't like that guy over here, well, just cut him off of your project. He's fine. All right, so I hope you have fun with monsters. We're going to do another project about marine life, and that's going to be from the Monterey Bay Aquarium. So you'll get to see some of what I was picturing. And I will see you then. Have fun.